Hi y'all, it's Bohemia with Bohemia Stars and Ocean Heart. I hope I didn't scare y'all with my voice right now. You're like, oh my god, what did I turn on? Excuse me, this springtime changes. My voice is crazy right now. So, we are going to do a Flowers for You reading. And this reading had never posted. Like right when I went on hiatus, I had a beautiful reading, all composed of flowers. The idea is that this is a reading of a bouquet of flowers for you. So we have two flower oracles and a flower oracle deck that I don't have the deck anymore, but I have the book. So I did a bibliomancy for you. And then we have the Tarot of the Moon Garden. I'll link everything below. And we are going to see what your bouquet of flowers is and what those flower medicines and messages are. So I put out all the flower crowns. Very flowery over here. And we have flower essential oils here. And I'm going to have you connect to either 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then we have, for number 1, we have Ylang Ylang or Ylang Ylang. For 2, we have Lavender. For 3, we have Bulgarian Rose. And for 4, we have Jasmine Absolute. I wish I could let you smell them. Wouldn't that be cool? Oh my gosh, I wish I could. I would do like a pick a card by scent. Y'all, I would do a pick a card by taste. I am all sensory kind of person. I would love to be able to do that. Maybe when, I'm already thinking ahead when we do some meet and greets. Would that be fun? I don't know, I'd have to look because I don't want to I don't want people to be like, oh, I don't know what you fed me. Okay, so, but yeah, let me know if you guys are even interested. This would be a little down the road, but doing some meet and greets and things, let me know. I travel. Okay, so I hope you have yours picked, and I'm so excited for you to get your bouquet of flowers. So here we go. Stay tuned. I have like 3 other readings that are ready to come out. So if my voice will hold up and the baby keeps sleeping and the phone doesn't die, I will have some other readings right out behind this one as well for you guys, okay? So we'll get into it with those who chose number 1. I also do have a collective reading at the end, so go ahead. It's just going to be the few cards that were the subconscious cards from the decks. If you want to stick around for that at the end as well. Please like, share, subscribe, send it to your friends. They need some flowers. I'm getting some sweet comments from other videos as we speak. Okay, for those of you who chose number 1, oh, I love how that looks and feels. We have Ylang Ylang, and let's see what we have for your cards. I really love this reading, guys. We have Oleander, Caution. We have Sacred Lotus, Detachment. Okay, let's leave the tarot for a minute. I want to see your flowers. Hyacinth, Rose, Carnation. Carnation's so powerful. It kept us warm all winter, working with that energy in our household. Snapdragon. Okay, you guys are fiery. There's going to be a lot of Aries in this group. Okay, let's go ahead. You guys wanted your bouquet wanted a lot of tarot with it. It's kind of like a lot of wrapping, a fancy jar to put it in. We have Knight of Cups reversed, 2 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands or 7 of Staffs in this deck, 3 of Pentacles, and we have the Sun card. Let me bring some of these over here. There we go. Sorry, I have so many readings waiting to go that it's getting a little crowded up here. Okay. Oh, I love it. Okay, so your energy, I'm so happy because you guys are moving into a very happy space. If you haven't been in a space of feeling like you could find your own unique balance of kind of like fire and water maybe, or just being direct and going after your passions, but still being, chill and cool, you're about to go into that time. So let's break it down and let's see, what the story is here. I definitely see a lot of you came from some really crap childhoods, or you've been through some really, really tough stuff. Like you've come up through the muck and the mire, through toxic relationships, through just really horrible things, and you found a way to blossom and to bloom like the lotus does, and to make medicine out of your wounds, which is so powerful and so beautiful. Now, a lot of you still have a lot of scrap to you, okay? Because we got Snapdragon and Carnation. So a lot of you can have a temper, you can be fiery, you can bring out, like, you can take off that call center customer service voice and get real if you have to, okay? And with this energy, I think a lot of you might have dealt with where you had others kind of villainize you for being strong or for being tough or for being direct, or you're really terrified if you were to assert yourself that would be the case. That's like the biggest energy. It's kind of the polarity between like Aries and Libra energy. And when I was pulling these cards, I was getting so many visualizations of people in the workplace who are like dealing with like passive aggressive people who trigger you and want you to look bad, to express their own anger that they can't deal with. And because, like, I think a lot of you might have like North Node in Aries, or you might have Aries or Scorpio or Mars or Pluto on your first house, your ascendant, or on your 10th house, your midheaven cusp. And because of that, people can take advantage of that energy, and even if they're the problem, they can trigger and make it look like you're the problem, or you're the one who's just losing your head, you're the hothead, you're the crazy one. And I think that's been extremely problematic as you move forward. And just try to live your life, because part of you wants to own that part of yourself and be like, yeah, like I have this toughness, I have these boundaries. And the other part of, you don't want to be walked all over or anything, but the other part of you is sick and tired of having to defend yourself and hold your ground and, always be the one who's made out to be the bad guy. So we have the energy of Rose with the energy of Snapdragon and trying to find that peace. Now, the beautiful thing about Snapdragon, it says, no, assert yourself, call out the things that are truthful, even when you feel like you're not going to be heard for it or others are not going to be receptive of it. Carnation is so powerful. Oh my gosh, I work with red carnation. You can literally, in place of doing a whole extensive ritual, burn one petal of a carnation, red carnation. They were selling them for like $1 at our grocery store, like a one stem. And every time we would go, we would just get one of those and we'd have it in a vase on our little family altar and just admire its beauty. Like literally, it would be invigorating just to go and smell it and be around its energy. And then I let them dry out, and I would give them as offerings on some of the like ancestor altars or certain deities that I work with. And then whenever I had, was dealing with like authority in a rough way, or things that where people were thinking they could control my life and I needed to assert my own power and boundaries, because I am a Pisces, I would state that concern, and I would burn and think of that and say my intentions as I burned a petal of the carnation. And it helped with every single situation. And so it can be really good to find our aid. And these are your flower remedies, your flower aid that's coming. Now we do have the sun here, and the flower you got in the book. So we have this book here. So if you have this deck, you can pull out the card from it. But I don't have the deck anymore. I have the book, and the flower that you guys got. Excuse me for a minute. I'm doing this one-handed over here. Was begonia, and for begonia, I'll set on this for a second so you can pause it and read it. I will read over here. It says, bring me into your life when you need patience and calm. I'm paraphrasing because it's long. When you keep finding others in your personal space, begonia will help set up etheric boundaries to shield you. It says, however, let's take a moment to look at why people keep coming into your personal space. Some may say it's because you haven't been strict enough, or it says, but I'll tell you the true reason. They are attracted to you and your energy. You have a wonderful aura, and people feel this tranquility when they interact with you. I will help you safely share your healing gifts with others while protecting yourself. So this deals with removing irritation, releasing anger, clearing frustration, promoting patience and calmness, and setting boundaries. It is the root, sacral, and solar plexus chakra, and literally these two cards are strong, talking about the sacral chakra. She's all in orange there, and you literally have the sun, which is the solar plexus. So this reading is so cohesive, and it's about you not having to decide which side of yourself that you get to express, and being emotionally unfulfilled and not getting what you want, and not being able to advance or put yourself up for promotion, or just express who you are without others hindering that, or again, this passive aggressive triggering energy. being able to truly connect with others, build with others, move forward in life. And the hyacinth also talks about how the hyacinth and the rose, like, whoa, that is some magnetic, attractive energy. So some of you guys have been on either side of the spectrum. Either you feel like you can only be passive and attracting, like basically you sit in your Venus energy. So I would study your Venus in your astrology, but really you have a Mars. Everyone has Mars. You can be assertive and direct and go after what you want. Some of you, it's the other way around. You've been sitting in your martial energy, your Mars. So look at that in your astrology. It will tell you more personally for you. And you don't know how to just let things come to you and allow yourself to be safe and radiate and be seen and have things be attracted to you without feeling like you got to kick down those doors. So this is not saying either of those energies is wrong. It's saying that you can use those energies either way for your benefit. There's times where, yes, assert those boundaries, be sensual, put yourself out there, don't ask permission to be yourself, right? Because you've been living in that caution from those traumas and things in the past. Maybe some of you were never really allowed to be your full self, to be sensual, to be seen. It was always like you having to prove your right to claim your own body, your own space, just your own existence. And so now it's saying you've done that, and if anything were to come and hinder you, Seven of Wands, you're beating anything that comes to your door. Like, I pity the fool who tries to come on, come and attack. I said come on to you. Some of you, woo, you are not trying to hear anybody trying to come on to you. But anyone who tries to bring some crap to your door because you can handle it. So it's saying that's not all who you are. And so allow yourself to embrace the other sides of yourself that are, more at ease and at peace, and let that chip off your shoulder, not because it was your fault in certain ways that it got there. It could have been, like I said, how you grew up or how society is with you, but it's saying to free yourself outside of those bounds now, and that you can make that choice so that you feel more. It's about how you want to feel. You can feel more emotionally fulfilled by doing that. It's okay to, have that chill when you need to and when it feels good for you. But at the same time, for those of you who have had trouble speaking up, going into things that feel like it might be conflict or adversity, this is saying, oh no, you better handle it. You better handle it, because your happiness has been going down the drain. It's been going down the drain. You have to claim and demand that others respect the life that you want. All right, so this is a beautiful, beautiful, empowering read. We have sweet, attracting energy, good things coming to you. I do see, I feel like a lot of you, this was a dynamic in the workplace, whether that was from, the gender that you are in the workplace being kind of belittled and bullied, or if it was your race or your religion or different things like that. I feel like a lot of you have this feeling that you've been kind of scrunched down and oppressed, and people look for reasons to kind of trigger you. And I am really happy to see this energy opening up for you, and you being able to claim yourself and make sure that people put some respect on it, okay? But still feel that you can be yourself and be free and sensual, and not feel vulnerable or scared in a negative way anymore, and not feel under attack anymore, but to feel at peace and in happiness. So, and is that a little unicorn? That's a Pegasus. So I'm gonna actually post a unicorn reading, messages from the unicorn, so you guys might want to check that out. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. Comment down below if you like this type of reading, checking in with these kind of energies. Do you work with flower medicine or essences or essential oils? And let us know down below. Share some wisdom so others can learn and grow. That's an amazing thing to do. And I appreciate you, and I will talk to you soon. All right. I swear, flower energy just makes me smile. Like, you can be in the worst mood, and then you work with flower energies, you're just like, why my face hurt? Why am I smiling so much? Oh, but I like smiling, so that sounds so funny, huh? I like smiling. I'm such a Pisces sometimes. Okay. Sorry, this is intermission as I get the cards ready, if you're listening to this and not skipping ahead. Okay, so number 2 had been Lavender, right? Yes, I think number 2 is Lavender. Okay, I'm sorry. I hope I have that right. But this is number 2 regardless. It's the right cards for number 2. I can't remember, y'all. I mixed the bottles up. Okay, so if you chose number 2, We have tree peony, abundance. We have Siberian Isis, inspiration. And the irises are out right now and they are beautiful. We're seeing those at the supermarket when we go. Oh, here, just a minute. Pause that. I want to do the flowers before the tarot. We have neroli, which is like the orange blossom family. Dandelion. I love this Magic of Flowers oracle. Poppy. Datura. Okay, now we'll do the tarot. We have the Queen of Swords reversed. We have the Five of Cups reversed. And we have the Five of Wands reversed. All right. So this reading is very exciting because if you've been having a difficult time, let me stop fiddling. If you've been having a difficult time, just, you know, feeling like there's obstacles, things in your way, dealing with grief, letting things go. A lot of you have been just like, it's almost like the machete through the jungle. You're just like cutting through, like, I'm not going to have any blockages. I'm not going to have any toxic connections. Like, you're just beasting it. You're handling it. And like, I'm going to be open. Like, you're just manifesting. And this is great because these wishes that you've been putting out and you've been having a pure heart on things and doing your spiritual work, you know, it's like you've been exhausted and just like having to get rest when you can get it. And just working so hard. Some of you have kids, children, and you're just doing the most and really trying to live a healthy, full-fledged life, you know, spiritually, inside and out. And this is beautiful because I'm so happy to be able to say that you have some amazing blessings and energy coming into you. For you, you have definitely, if you have been waiting for that partnership, that real life stuff, not just like who's the next person I'm gonna have a crush on and talk about in the comments, you know, that's gonna be my soulmate, but we're never gonna actually meet. Not that. I'm talking about real world love, marriage, sweetness. These are literally two of the strongest flowers you could have gotten to signify that, and you got both of them. Neroli is notorious for being that marriage energy that you want to work with, that vibration of a true partner and a true love. And look at the doves there. This oracle, I love it so much. They illustrate so well metaphysically and magically the energy of these plants, so I'll link it below. This is the Magic of Flowers. It has an excellent book with it, so I really highly recommend it. It's so beautiful. And then you have the tree peony, and peonies are used even in feng shui and things to put in your love sector to bring in love to yourself and to have faithful partnerships and honorable connections and relationships. Oh, it's so beautiful. And then you have Iris, which is about inspiration, communication. The goddess Iris is almost like the feminine energy of Mercury. She's connected to rainbows and prisms. It's just like so beautiful. Right, I definitely see some Pisces here. I see some Libra energy, some Gemini. Yeah, it's just like these wishful, hopeful, like just sparkly, feel good energies. And again, this isn't like just out of nowhere. This is because you've really been through things and you've been working on this. You're keeping your eyes open, you're watching for these things, you're preparing yourself, and it's amazing. I do see some artists that you've been preparing your work in your portfolio, and I see you going and getting your art show or hearing, you know, getting your music heard and things. So there's very good signs for artists here. Competition's not a thing, it's not existent. You have cleared that by internally working on yourself. So whenever you think there's going to be external blockages, when you work on that internally, you shift it away. Like I said, there's a very patient energy here, a very whimsical energy, and people, you know, sometimes mistake. They think, well, that's not realistic. But when you work in that energy, you can flow through things as if they're not even there, like they don't exist, right? Energy works differently if you stay in that flow. So stay in that flow because you are creating beauty and happiness in your life. And yes, stay and get rested. Some of you are going into the aspects of your spiritual journey where you are maybe thinking about you're going to go to some sacred ceremony with plant ceremony, like ayahuasca or things. I ask that you go to the people who these ceremonies come from and get their permission and do it respectfully, and not that appropriation Coachella bullshit. All right. Some of you are just discovering sacred medicine. It could be, legally in your country and state, like THC or things like that. But I do see a deep healing and a spiritual journeying and connection, and your sight being open here. And the simplest of, you know, manifesting that you're doing, as long as you are connected to that joy, this joy that I'm like oozing and feeling in your reading, that is the powerful part of manifesting. It's about being in that energy. It's not even about elaborate things. I do see, preparing kind of your home and doing the feng shui and just having your space, your flow, and your energy open really helps you right now. Yeah, anything that's clutter or blockages, just move it out. Now I do see some information about partners coming in. All right, and it wasn't even gonna, you got a bouquet of flowers and it's coming with some juicy tidbits. Okay. Some of you, your partners are artists. Absolutely, they are artists, they are creatives. I also see people who have partners coming in who are spiritual workers. I'm seeing things also such as glass blowing. I'm seeing people who, I don't know, I'm seeing a lot with like windows, and it could be things about clarity. I see people who are connected to like being an eye doctor or working like LASIK. I'm seeing people who are about relaxation, so they are like massage therapists, reflexology, acupuncturists, chiropractors, yoga instructors. I'm also seeing some travel, and I'm really getting Spain, which is funny if you know me personally behind the scenes, but I'm seeing Spain here for some people. That is just like huge and really popping up. That could be a thing. So there's just a bunch of random messages popping like beautiful flowers in this bouquet, so I will share them with you. Um, yes, okay, there can also be children. So if you are having any worries about children, or if there's going to be blended families, or you're wanting to have a child and that's your wish, the energy is beautiful for it. Like I said, you're in a good spiritual space to like stay open, that inspiration, stay open to children, stay open to that connection of nurturing others and being in wonder. Some people really, the reason they hate children is because they're bitter inside. Like that's usually always what it is. And they close it down. Now some people, it's just not their thing. But some people, they're bitter about when it comes to kids, right? And it's because they have that injury within themselves in that realm of energy. But I feel like you are in a very beautiful space when it comes to that vibration of the inner child. And so you're going to have a lot of wonderful opportunities connected to children. Your coming spouse could work with children. There could be new children coming into your family or your home. If you're already married, you are about to go through another honeymoon phase. You're going to feel, you might even do, it would be an excellent time to repropose to your spouse or to renew your vows. Like this is just beautiful. I can even see going on a little retreat, and then in a very wonderful place that's significant to you, very scenic place, or around art. Say, I just heard consummating again, reconsummating. So if that's something you haven't done for a while, okay. But renewing vows. I'm even seeing people who are getting remarried for a second time. So, you had some obstacles and things have been worked through, and I am seeing that. I'm also seeing some children who are going to be born very much later after their siblings. So if you are still within the realm and you're like, oh, I don't know, because the other ones are a decade older or something, you might surprise yourself, and there might be another little one that comes through. You're receiving a lot of messages in your dream time, and a lot of you are good scryers, and just third eye open, crown chakra open, so really trust that. But yes, use all of these flowers, their energies, their essences, their essential oils, the ones that are healthy for that. And Iris, Van Gogh has a beautiful painting called Irises, and I used to go and see it in California when I lived out there. And it's just, you can read it like you read tarot cards. At least that's what I do when I see paintings. I can hear the stories and read it. So sitting with art, for those of you who chose this, your soul is just very open to that. And just things like being out, eating out on a beautiful place. You're just in this romantic bubble that is glorious. So I'm so happy, because I think it's well deserved. There's no reason to hold on to that that bitterness or that guardedness anymore. You're in smoother waters. And so some of you just needed to know that and to know what beautiful blessings are coming. And I'm so happy. All right, number 2, I am coming back to read your bibliomancy flower, your book flower, because apparently number 3 had an overlay of energies and they needed to have 2 from the book. One of them they shared with you. So some of you chose 2 and 3, but I want to make sure you hear this message because it ties together your reading so well, because you got rose, red rose here. So here is, if you want to pause it and read, hopefully that's in focus. So it says, you deserve love. Let me help you in this area. Together we will find the deep connection and passion you seek. You may have had some negative relationships experiences in this or a previous life. With your permission, I will heal those wounds and allow you to move forward with positivity. You will become the love that you seek. Attracting love, enhancing passion and romance, increasing motivation, and promoting healing. Oh, this is so beautiful. Okay, so it opens the heart chakra, and feel this as powerful healing energy that melts the blockages in your heart. And I do just want to tell you, rose energy it's one of the highest vibrations, and I had a situation where I had a lot of damage in my sacral chakra. Something happened in my body physically, had some difficulties, and the doctor had told me, this is before I had my daughter, they had said, if you were thinking about getting pregnant anytime soon, we can't even discuss that for at least a year or so. I really needed some healing, and I wasn't planning on getting pregnant. Baby came anyways. But I did healing ceremony with my elder and did, different things like that. But I went through rose, I forget what it's called when you dilute it in this, it's not the oil, but it's like this, it's edible and you can put it on your skin. And so I had the rose essential oil in that form, and it was sweet too. And I would just like basically bathe in it. I went through 2 bottles in like a month because I needed so much healing. And the glow, if you want a pregnancy glow without the pregnancy, oh my gosh. And the healing, that deep, from the skin to my health, to just the vibration within, stepping into that divine power, like that divine beauty, that kind of power, that passive self-loving. It is a miracle worker working with rose energy. It's so beautiful. Rose water, essential oils, it's good for your skin. It's like you will just look glorious. You will look like Aphrodite from the foam, like, glistening like bronzer. What? It is so amazing. And a few months later, I ended up getting first it was the psychic message that came, connecting with my child's, and she was saying, in a few days you're going to check, and I'm here. And so it literally healed and opened doorways and magical vortexes and portals, right? that weren't even supposed to be able to function in that way. And so it was so healing for some very deep stuff. And I still, go back to working with rose when I forget and work on that. So rose energy is good for healing old wounds, as it says. It does open up, the nurturing chakras, the heart chakra, the sacral chakra, the root, any chakra. It is very divinely, like, it's very protective. Think of like roses around your property, the thorns, like it protects the family. It's amazing. So I really encourage you guys, as you got that flower, rose popped up in like 3 other readings. It was like, there's a reason why, like, I'm everywhere. It's not because I'm basic, it's because I am the diva of old, and you guys need to get reacquainted with more than just my beauty, but my deep magical powers and my spiritual, high vibe energy. So I did not want you guys to miss that. I think Spirit just wanted to make sure that I also read it for number 3. So they let me slide for a minute until I got to number 3s, and I was like, let me go back and make sure that I give this information to number 2. Although I didn't share my personal rose story with them. So yes, we'll talk more. We'll do live chats and we'll talk. So I hope that you guys like this reading. I probably said all that jazz, and this is going to be edited in, so I'll just pop off now. Bye. beautiful blessings are coming, and I'm so happy for you. So like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you on another reading, and hopefully I'll get a lot more out for you tonight. I'm working on it. All right. For those of you that chose number 3, oh, just a moment. Okay. Sorry, one-handed over here. I'm going to get a little stand so then that'll be better. For those of you who chose number 3 and Rose Absolute here, or Rose, Bulgarian Rose, essential oil, we have lavender. Isn't that funny? It's not the lavender pile. We have Queen of the Night. Y'all, I was just sitting there like, ooh, child, when I was peeking when I was drawing these cards. The energy off of this card, I felt like I was going to old Southern church or something. Like I was gonna start singing spirituals and just feeling it. It's the energy. Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna talk about that. All right, let's see here. Okay, I thought I missed one. Nope. We have Magnolia. Like, y'all, if you know flower energy, you're already like, whoa. Morning Glory. Y'all are some powerful, bad, I would say mama jamma, person jamma. Like, wow. Wow. This is like a witchy group. You got Clover. You got Camellia. All the decks will be linked below. The cards, you got the Knight of Pentacles reversed. You got the Six of Swords reversed. And you got the Seven of Pentacles reversed. But let's just set that tarot aside because this, let's talk about this. Okay, let's talk about this. We'll have the group reading at the end, the collective. And let me see, let me get your book. Okay, we have your book one as well. Okay, so your energy is like astounding. Like I feel like you don't even know it, but like you go out and you think, oh, I'm just in my little yoga pants and I'm going to the grocery store and just nice and calm, and you like stop and help people. Like you do these mundane things and you help people like pick up the groceries that spilled out their cart or something, and people are like stunned by you. I feel like there's been times where people literally went home and were like, oh my gosh, like I think I met like I think I met my guide, or I think I met like a goddess, or I think I met like an angel. Like they literally, your energy is so powerful and radiant, and your connection to others can be so intense and just present that others literally are feeling like they're in the other realms. Like they're like, you know, you might be delivering messages to others even when you don't even realize it. And that's why you might be like, man, people get really attached to me, or they'll just be very enamored by me. And that's why, because you're like oozing this cosmic energy to others even when you don't realize it. And I feel like a lot of times you do realize how profound your connection with others are, or the wisdom or guidance that you have to give them. But it's just like, it's like their jaws open and they're just like, oh my God, like who is this what is this person, like, you know, but in a good way, you know, like, is this, who is this? Like, am I being touched by an angel? You know, is this, you know, who is this person? So I feel like the divine connects and speaks through you in that way. We have cards of power here, but we also have cards of humility. And this talking about how beautiful that is to have that combination and to be able to hold that kind of space. Now, you guys, you know, I've been talking about the doorways and the crossroads, path working and things of that nature. You guys, because of your own work, all right, and a lot of you, like I said, are straight up witchers, root workers, magical people. You have blown open the doors for yourself. Like, you have the green light with a lucky clover, literally the green light to create. Camellia, she is creating putting everything she has beautifully and humbly together to create. She's making a sacred geometry there, making her own magic from the resources that she's given. And Clover is about being given, that support and the go ahead, the green light that, just aid from the spiritual world. And you're taking that and you are making moves. Like, this card is almost like when you find out that your grandma is actually like this, like, world renowned diva who changed the game, and then you find out on top of that that she's actually like this witch and all of her like sparkle on stage was real magic. Like, what? What? Like, this is that moment of like discovering like you're a witch, or like that's that feeling. Like, it's just so powerful and amazing. Now, a lot of people actually connect to the magic of Magnolia, but they don't realize it because that's Nag Champa. So you probably have smelt and been around Magnolia a lot and not realized it. So I remember when I was younger, we were raised really strict religious when I was younger, and we actually went to this little thing, and it was supposed to be like a fall holidays program, and it wasn't supposed to be like Halloween, but it kind of was some of the things. So it was just like a, different, it's kind of like a talent variety show. And I remember this one lady went up there and sang, and it was very kind of like a 90s style singer, guitar, or songwriter, guitar player kind of thing. And she had this song, Under the Magnolia Tree. And I remember when she sang it, I just was having these visions, and I could see like her memories and things, and I could feel this tree. Like, I went to that tree and connected with it and felt its energy. And I remember thinking like, she's a witch. And I remember just being so like, it was so hilarious to me because they were like, it was like this whole thing that, religiously you couldn't celebrate Halloween. And yet I was brought like directly, spirits like, okay, brought directly to this witchy lady who's singing about the power of and that's how I learned about Magnolia and the power of it. And that memory, the energy of it was kind of like practical magic, like that movie, like how their home is and their land, and how they can just do their workings and be who they are, and they just have all that knowledge accumulated and all that collective power together. And that is what you are embodying. Like, it is so amazing. And these cards talk about taking lunar energy and bringing them into the daytime. So I was like, whoa, because that's literally what's illustrated here, is taking, bringing out into the light the power that you have. And, if you're used to drawing down the moon and using all of these deep energy, Queen of the Night, use it. And then you have Morning Glory. So these cards are so in sync, and it's crazy. Then you have Lavender, which is like, it's such a humble, like, Lavender is so humble. For all that it does, it can like, cleanse wounds, and it's soft enough to use with infants, but you can also use it like in everything. It's just like in everything it can heal. Like, if you're going to have 2 or 3 essential oils that you're allowed to have for the rest of your life, lavender would be one of them, because it's so powerful, so versatile, just amazing. And so you have that ability to transmute all of this into daily things, and to be down to earth, and to live your life and not have to be in some lofty, the negative diva side, right? So this is just, it's amazing energy. Now I want to read your card that you got out of the book. Let me get it here. You got Rose, and I'll put it here so you can read it if you pause it. So, message from Red Rose. You deserve love. Let me help you in this area. Together we will find the deep connection and passion you seek. You may have had some negative relationship experience in this or previous life. With your permission, I will heal those wounds and allow you to move forward with positivity. You will become the love you wish to experience. So this is like, whatever you are working out and clearing the path for, it's absolutely coming in and making itself known to you. Like, you just have to see the butterfly. You just have to go with it and trust yourself. And there's the moon right there still as the day is dawning. This is Oh, it's so good. So no more waiting. The Seven of Pentacles. No more waiting. You don't have to assess. I feel like basically you're saving your own life at this point, because there's things that should not have been possible to make it through. That should not have been. It's almost like when the gods are watching like a demigod trying to complete impossible tasks, and it's like, how did they do that? It's impossible. Like literally one of us probably couldn't have done that. How are they doing that? How are they handling these tasks in this physical realm so well? Like, what's going on? So that is your energy, which is crazy, in a good way. So if you've had blockages moving forward, again, those are clearing. I feel like you can only delay yourself, right? If you stop doing your workings, and if you stop believing that you have opportunities, you'll close your own doors, right? You'll close them. It's about you deciding what you want to do, and when you put in that work, and I'm talking about spiritual workings and magical things, because that's what's coming up here. But even physically, if you just have your mind, body, soul in that direction, like, yep, I'm going to do this, and I know I'll be taken care of, it's going to be that way. Things are not supposed to be such hard work for you anymore. Like, whoa. I feel like I just felt that hit someone, like, whoa. It's not. It's not. It's not supposed to be about waiting, like waiting. Oh, how much am I going to get back on my taxes? How much? Let me figure this out. Let me figure this out. Am I going to have enough? Oh, shit, it's not enough again. Oh, man. Now I'm going to have to move and I don't want to. Or now I want to move and I can't. Like, it's not supposed to be like that for you. And it's not going to be like that anymore as you take in this energy. Now, I do feel like some of you will end up traveling or relocating. But again, it's when you want to. You're choosing to go down that path. It's not forced. So really, learn things from your spiritual past and traditions, because you got it there. And use that to empower yourself, to anchor yourself. It's kind of like that's like the example of the Magnolia song. Like, all the superstitions have truths to them, right? The folk magics, the stories we're told, and it's about you connecting and finding the ones that are true from you, those gifts from spirit, right? Those parables that the person's told along their journey, as they're trying to complete and compete in those impossible tasks, and then making that magic and building this life. Again, like, I feel like your life is astounding. I feel like people are just like, how did you get there? How, like, it's impossible. How did you do it? You definitely have that energy though, where people are like, she's a witch. Like, even if you do something normal, people don't believe you. So basically, you might as well come out of the witching closet, because, and I think that's that doorway for some of you. You might as well just be like, I'm a spiritual, magical person. I do what I do. And you don't have to tell them all the secrets, because some deep inner world secrets. You really do. But you can afford to share some of those things, and to be yourself out loud a little more, and be in peace, and not have to be in fear. And I do see that some of you, you've lived some lifetimes where that was not safe. Ooh, that was not safe. But this time it is safe. And let me just read over here this card. You got I don't know if it's Grevilla or it's from Australia, so they might not pronounce it the Spanish way. It could be Grevilla. It's also called spider flower. Okay, so let me show you so that you can pause it and read if you want. All right, it says, it's time for you to trust your intuition and stick your neck out. Release your fears about being the true you, and begin speaking up about what's on your mind. People won't judge you for being yourself. Instead, you'll find that others will appreciate and love you more, and begin communicating with you on an even deeper level. You've moved beyond the time when you could sit and watch life pass you by. Now it is your time to step up. Find your inner voice and fully accept it as your own. Trust those urges that you've had to give speeches, write books, teach workshops, or attend seminars. Listen, because they are your divine messages. I'm here to help you take the plunge, so go for it. This card also has a special message about being able to help if there's any concerns in men's health or fertility concerns with men. So I'm glad they included that, because a lot of these decks are like, have this very like, oh, women only kind of feel to them, which is not cool. So yes, those are your messages. I'm blown away by this energy. It's so gorgeous. It's so amazing. I'm just so happy that I got the urge from Spirit to do these readings. I'm loving these flower readings, but let me know what you think and how you feel about it. And do you connect with any of these flowers? Do you have any significant memories, or have you worked with them in any capacity? Essential oils, magical working, flower essences. Let me know and drop it down below, and I will talk to you soon. Yay! So now we will move on. There will be the collective cards at the end, but first we will do number 4. Number 4 was the Jasmine Absolute. All right, we have Snowdrop, Sacred Blue Lily, Rebirth, Hydrangea, which I love, Bougainvillea, which I also love, Dahlia. I love this. I love all of them. Wisteria with the mermaid. Holla. Sorry, I'm getting notifications. We have King of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the 9 of Wands, or 9 of Staves. You also have a unicorn, and I'm getting ready to post a unicorn message reading, so stay tuned to that. All right. So great. And we have your book. Sorry, let me get your bibliomancy. You got Jonquil, so we'll look at that in a moment. Yes, you guys are in a big transition period. I see that you have been, a lot of you've been on a pause, and you've really been recalibrating. Like, you've had kind of your mind blown open within recent times, maybe even within the last few years. And now it's come to the point where you are, it's almost like when you gut a house, right? And you're going to flip this house, and you're deciding how to rebuild it. Only with you, this is your own inner world and sacred space. And so you have to decide, okay, do I need this wall? Do I not? Is this just defensive, me being triggered? Is this just from past hurts and trauma that's speaking? Or is this a good defensive boundary to have? And you're going through figuring out what to keep personal, what is the stuff to put out, what is the medicine to take in. Like, you've been doing a spiritual overhaul and a mental overhaul, and you've had a lot of things kind of come and break your head, as I say, like just downloads, communication with others too, even talking with like activists or through books. You guys might have just had a certain book or a certain blog you follow, or news or something that just blew your mind open. And it definitely could have been painful with the 9 of Wands at first, where you're just like, oh my gosh. Some of you, it's been letting go of your own pains and hurts, decolonizing, taking that programming that you're like, oh my goodness, like that can be painful when you've realized you've been programmed against yourself, and then you have to take all of that out and channel in something new. But the beautiful energy is that you're still growing. You are still trying to thrive. You have hope. You have rebirth. Oh, I love these readings. They've come out so amazing, unique, but amazing. Hydrangea. Okay, let's talk about hydrangea. Can we talk about, do you see all the different colors? So do you know that hydrangea is a plant that is sensitive to the pH in the soil? So it will literally change colors. It can handle being planted in different soil types, and it will change colors in its flowers due to the change of pH in the soil. So you have the ability to transmute whatever you have been in whatever you have come from, and to make beauty out of it, and to find a way to make empowerment out of what you have been through. And you've definitely been through times where you needed more protection, you needed more safety, or you're learning to protect and hold space for others. I do see that, to welcome others with open arms, and to give nurturing to those who haven't had it, to give hope to people who don't have hope. And that's so beautiful. The sacred blue lily, which is very significant to me, it is one we talked in another reading, I think it was at number 2, about using plant medicine for spiritual mental journeys, right? The sacred blue lily, at least one of the varieties, I don't know how many there are, is a hallucinogen, right? It's used in sacred rituals. And so, but it's also very closely tied to the lotus. It is actually sometimes called like a Nile lotus as well. So it has a similar journey of growing up into spirituality and blossoming, but this one is even more radical. So for some of you, we have Aquarian energy here, we have Piscean energy here, we have Scorpio energy here. For some of you, it's radical to like who you are right now, the things you know, the way you're opening up your mind and your heart. Maybe the you years ago couldn't even believe it, or maybe people around you can't even believe it, but you're claiming yourself, you're living yourself out loud. You are allowing yourself, after this growth here, to kind of cut that tie to the negative that was chaining you up, and you needed it for your growth and you're using it now, but you're freeing yourself, and that is just amazing, you know. And I still see you having, like, learning your secret mysteries, learning you know, hidden things. So yes, with Dahlia here, we talked about the deeper messages and wisdom, but this lets me know that you guys really did have a contract to come through in this particular lifetime to work through a lot of karmic issues. I feel like this was a very conscious decision. You wanted to come down, you wanted to make things happen. And I think something about the energy and vibe of Earth and this particular time that you came through, you just thought it would be the right place. It's almost like planning your cruise. You had hope that you could work through things now. So allow yourself to be more forgiving with yourself, work through those processes. It's not in punishment, it's things that you wanted to learn and grow and do. We have Wisteria here, which actually softens the energy of that sharp King of Swords. Wisteria is about softening your edges and you know, being more kind of laid back and knowing that time and kind of the mysteries of the universe is fluid, that reality is more fluid than it seems. It's not as harsh as it seems. And I think a lot of you, especially right now through Pisces season that we just had, you might have had a lot of those like remembrances in your spirit, or a lot of that kind of download or awakening kind of energy. Literally, you guys, it's like downloads from ancient Egypt right there, like boom. I feel like ancient texts can provide you with a lot of information. I see a lot of you journeying to, like doing sacred pilgrimages to different places, and they will connect you. Some of you are like, oh, no, no, no. And the reason why is because you've had karmic experiences in these places. Now, nothing I say is ever in an appropriative way. So I know sometimes people kind of weaponize, like, oh, well, I was here in a past life, so I own that culture in this place and I can go there and do what I want. Just for the record, I am never do I say that at all. I am the anti that, okay? But this is talking about just having respect for sacred places. I feel like a lot of you really picked your star chart, and you really picked the community and the demographic that you're born into, actually. So in studying those things, the things that are natal to you, you will naturally like you've but it's like you put hex breaker into your life, if that makes sense. You put karma resolution into your life. So the channel that you are in right now is something actually to stay in, because in going back, like, I don't know, I kept getting like a lot of places like Iceland. So let me know, whoever, I kept getting Iceland so strong. Whoever has a connection to Iceland, if you want to share it, let us know. Drop it down below. I do know someone who's gone to Iceland, but I thought that was very an interesting pilgrimage to have. Also, I was getting Norway and Sweden. Of course, we do have Egypt showing here. I was also getting the stone hedges that are like all over Europe, the stone hedges being big, even in England, the standing stones that have the runes on them. So there's a lot of things that you guys want to go back to, past trauma that you are healing. Oh, look at this card, even has runes. Right, so he's on the world tree, and they actually put the runes here. That's Pertho and Isa is what they put there. And we do have snow. Isa is ice, and we do have snowdrop and hope. And this is actually a card that would symbolize the north as well. So, and everyone will have different paths, but I do feel California and the West Coast for some people, in tropical areas. Some people will be going back to their origins in the Caribbean. Yeah, I'm seeing also France. lavender fields and stuff. Okay, so a lot. It will keep coming if I go until I tell every one of your places. So yes, we healthy boundaries. Bougainvillea is beautiful. I remember the magic of that. Like this, like going from living in Iowa when I was younger, we moved to California. I grew up in California, and like the colors that Bougainvillea comes in, and it's on all of these walls. And the thing that's astounding and glorious is it's in like the hood, it's in all these rundown places, but then you go to Beverly Hills and it's there too. Like it's just this magnificent plant that does what it wants to do. It grows really fast and thickly. It's beautiful in colors, all different colors, and it's like this sacred hedge. And I remember it just represented so much for me. I could feel that magical protection, this idea that anything can happen, any, like, you know, that the sky is the limit, that our energy is infinite, and yet at the same time that we can be protected and held and safe within that expression. It was almost like nature's way of doing like awesome graffiti or street art or something. Like, oh, I'm just trying to explain like how beautiful this energy is. So I feel like you guys are at that point too. You're writing your own history, you're writing your stars, you're rewriting your sacred text to yourself, and you're finding some peace, you're finding resolution, you're rebirthing, re-knowing yourself, and there is hope, and there is softness and fun. Like, look at this flowy mermaid with her bubble. Look, she's like, I don't have a care. You guys care, but you don't have to be burdened by things. I feel like there's a lot of people who are learning to forgive yourself and this things that you couldn't do, stuff that you couldn't solve, people you couldn't save, times where you couldn't stand up for yourself. Just seeing the other side of the equation of things, looking from a spiritual point of view, not in an escapist way at all, but with a mind for truly understanding, is going to be that ray of light and that return to self. And just, you know, look at that, just waiting with open arms to be kind of brought back to yourself, which is so beautiful because you've transmuted and taken in the messages from both worlds, from the sacred world and from your lessons here. So I feel like you guys are doing great. You're having an amazing journey. It's worth documenting. I think I'm getting journaling a lot. Sacred journaling for yourself might be huge. Like I said, some of you are going to be going and doing travel. Some of you, it's going to be spiritual journeys. But there's lots of energy. So let's look at your last flower in your bouquet. You got jonquil. So let's go here. So let me get the glare off. If you want to stop it and read. And let me just see here. Protecting your energy, healing those around you, bringing more light to your workplace and home, removing harshness from your life, and attracting peaceful environments. There we go. You've been surrounded by people who are too harsh for your sensitive energy to cope with. Call on me, the flower, and I'll heal you and those around you. Some individuals in your life have been acting from the lower energy of the ego. You have considered them friends in the past, but perhaps it's now time to reflect on this. Are you truly willing to continue exposing yourself to this negativity? Although this can be a frightening issue, I assure you that the angels are very much with you and gently guiding you to an even better situation. I'll work on healing the voices of those around you so that they too begin using more loving words and bring more light to the world through their actions. I'll protect your sensitive nature by keeping the energy around you nice and clean. You're strong enough to continue working towards your life purpose. So you are on that path to your life purpose. I feel so much love and tenderness for you from the spirit world. And I feel like your guides are very present, even though they've been rough on you sometimes. You can tell them, hey, let's take it down a notch. I don't need that tough love anymore. You know, put those boundaries even spiritually around yourself. And, you know, cleanse and protect your home, do your sacred baths. But this looks good. And I think that it is time for you to, I'm seeing a retreat, not just vacation, but a pilgrimage or a retreat that you are definitely well deserving of planning and taking. So I hope this resonated with you and was some good healing medicine for you. I hope you enjoyed your beautiful bouquet, unique to yourself. And if you stick around in a moment, I'm going to do the few cards from the bottoms of the deck that is for the collective. Let me know what you think and send this reading to others if you think that you have loved ones who could use a bouquet of flowers and a wonderful message. All right. All right. Collective, I hope you liked this reading. It was such a joy to do. I'm going to try to go right into doing other readings. Hopefully I have a space on my phone so I can get you guys a double feature. And now, drum roll please, for our collective little bouquet, some flowers that are in all of our bouquets, if you will. We have white hibiscus, respect. Yes, I love hibiscus, is my favorite flower. I love hibiscus. We have the magician reversed, and we have orchid. This is perfect. This is such a good way to tell people to put some respect on it. You are deserving of love and respect. So we have the magician reversed, and there are certain people or things or even a job, places that you just don't need anymore. If they are not being respectful of you, if they are not bringing empowerment and inclusivity to you, they're not a resource. Ooh, that's powerful. If they are not healing to you and elevating you, they are not a resource for you. So we have to rethink that, because sometimes we say, well, I need this job. I need that resource of money. This is saying, no, you're above that. And what I freaking love, when I worked for the city of Los Angeles before, when I was coming off the streets, right? I know, right? Anarchist working for a city. I learned a lot and I made moves where I could. But one thing that you'll notice is that everybody has like bamboo on their desk, and everybody has these orchids, right? You just get them as gifts. They're everywhere. They're all over the office. And this one, on a rainy day, when she had had enough, she took that sign of life, that sign of beauty and things elsewhere. I'm sorry, it's not focusing. And she said, I'm out of here. Do you want to come too? Like, I need to get free. I need to go where I am respected and honored and where I can thrive. And I am jailbreaking this poor flower too out of these fluorescent lights, you know. And to them, that rain, what everyone else saw as turbulence and a bad day, that was a good drink of water. That was refreshment. That was a cleansing to their spirit, right? Like the sky deities, the storm deities, the rain deities, right? To drink that up. And so I feel like a lot of you in this, it's not that you're out of control right now, that you don't have control. What it is that you're changing the driver. Other people have been in control. Other people have been driving the ship or the shift, picking your shifts at work, and the shift of spiritual energy. Yes. And now you are learning what that feels like to take that steering wheel, right? A lot of you might have those dreams where you're in a car, but you're not the one who's driving, right? Someone else is in control, taking over your destiny, having the power. But then you woke up and were like, R-E-S-P-E-C-T with my sick voice. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Aretha. And you were just like, no, like I need to steer the ship. I don't know how. I don't know how, but I know you ain't doing a good job, you know, whoever that is. And you're going to take this control back in your life. And hibiscus is beautiful. It's protective energy for families. It's warm. It's passionate. It's good for business. It's like an all out. It's good for sensuality and romance. It's just like an amazing, amazing medicine. And so we have all, I'm seeing all this white and red, white and red, white and red, which are some of the original sacred colors, right? Back to ancient times, you'll see red, white, and black in cave paintings all over the world. So you are going back to the origins of yourself. So think of that. I'm not in chaos. Right? You're in a cleansing storm and you are taking the power. You are becoming the leader of your life. You are becoming the resource maker of your life. And you are freeing others, whether they be beings, other sentient beings, all of our relations, the plants, the environment, the animals around you, the children, the inanimate objects, you know, that don't want to be abused in this world, right? You are teaching respect to others and cultivating that in the world when you respect yourself. And that is beauty. That is powerful medicine. So thank you all for your spiritual journey, and thank you for caring for yourself and receiving this nurturing, because that's what you did. You just received some compliments, you just received some good medicine, some beauty into your life, and in doing so, you've just opened the door to more beauty and joy coming in and more healing. So blessings to you, and I will talk to you soon.